the cameras flashed. The scrolling thumbs of an entire nation just froze.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, it is today, Monday, January 19th, 2026, and a single black and white image has just dropped on social media.
And it changes everything.
It changes the entire landscape of British TV drama.
It's so cinematic, isn't it? You've got the aesthetic, just perfect, a tender forehead kiss, very artistic, sort of moody.
A simple caption.
And the most important part, that undeniable symbol of a new chapter. A diamond ring emoji.
The groom-to-be is Olly Rix, the brooding heartthrob, formerly of Call the Midwife. The bride-to-be, Anna Chell, the chaotic energy from Casualty.
2 massive BBC dramas, 1 secret romance.
And a web of exes and co-stars so tangled you practically need a flowchart to track it.
Hollywood had the Brangelina breakup. Well, British TV has the Rothlock romance.
Welcome to StarScope Report.
If you're a fan of British television or you just, love a good behind-the-scenes scandal, you are in exactly the right place.
We are diving deep into the stories that shape the culture.
And honestly, today is huge. This is not just an engagement announcement.
Wow.
This is the culmination of years of rumors, on-set bubbles, these simultaneous breakups, and a timeline that is frankly exhausting just to look at.
It really is. So our mission today is to unpack the, let's call them 26 British drama secrets that have been exposed by this one photo.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to trace how Call the Midwife and Casualty essentially became a breeding ground for romance. Look at the so-called curse of the on-screen husband.
And figure out why Trixie Franklin is currently sitting in Poplar making excuses for a husband who is busy getting engaged in Cardiff.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this starting with the headline news. As of today, January 19, 2026, Olly Rix, age 40, and Anna Chell, who is 29, are officially engaged.
Right.
Now, in the world of celebrity PR, how would you classify this?
Oh, this is the ultimate hard launch. There is no question about it. Looking back, they actually did what we call a soft launch of this relationship.
When was that?
Back in August 2025, there were these Instagram photos of a summer adventure. Very vague, no faces touching, just vibes.
Right.
But the key giveaway was the third party in the photos. Olly's Cocker Spaniel, Nellie.
Of course. If you see the dog, you know it's real. The dog is the continuity error in any secret romance. It's like you can hide your face, you can hide your location, but you can't hide a specific breed of Cocker Spaniel that fans have been tracking for, 3 years?
Nellie is the ultimate whistleblower. But to understand how we even got here, we have to look at the setting.
The workplace.
Exactly. This is a classic workplace romance, but the workplace isn't an office. It's the Casualty set at Rothlock Studios in Cardiff.
That location is so crucial to the story. We have to talk about the environment because sources describe Rothlock as a closed-loop social environment.
That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It practically is. When actors move from London to Cardiff for these continuing dramas, they're essentially leaving their real lives behind.
They're in a bubble.
A total bubble. They film these grueling schedules, often away from their established support networks, and the only people they see are each other. It's intense.
Well, think about it. You're working 12, maybe 14 hours a day. You're emotionally vulnerable because you're acting out trauma or high-stakes medical emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you clock off, and you're in a city that isn't your home, and the only people who get why you're so tired are your co-stars. It's a recipe for attachment.
Absolutely. So Olly Rix joins the cast of Casualty in March 2025. He's the new clinical lead, Flynn Byron. But here's the kicker. He spent 9 months before that in what he called witness protection.
I love that detail. He wasn't just cast, he was in hiding. He was secretly training for the role, learning medical procedures, pretending to be a doctor.
And the only thing he could do to relax was walk his dog, Nellie.
Imagine that. You're a famous actor, but you can't tell anyone why you're in Cardiff. You're just walking around the bay with your dog, memorizing medical jargon.
And Anna Chell was already there. She's been playing nurse Jodie Whyte since 2023. And if we're talking about trauma bonding, her character has been through absolute hell.
Oh, it's ridiculous. If you look at the scripts for Jodie Whyte, it's a wonder the character is still standing. She has dealt with kidnappings, bomb attacks.
Finding out her estranged dad was her boss.
Handling venomous snakes. I mean, the adrenaline alone on that set must be off the chart.
Exactly. So while her character was surviving explosions, the actress was clearly building a very real connection with the new clinical lead. It's a classic meet-cute medical drama style.
He's the surgeon with fierce resolve, rumored to be a womanizer on the show.
Yeah.
She's the nurse with a chaotic past.
And now, in real life, they're tying the knot.
It's poetic in a weird way. The drama on screen is just chaos, but they found stability in the green room.
But here's where the plot really thickens. Because before Olly was saving lives in Cardiff, he was breaking hearts in Poplar. And if you think this engagement is just a simple happy ending, you haven't heard about the Call the Midwife connection, involving a very famous ex-co-star.
Stay tuned because the timeline gets messy, and it involves a double split that happened almost simultaneously. It's the kind of timing that makes you really question coincidence.
So let's rewind the clock.
Yeah.
We have to go back to 2023. This is essential context to understand the weight of today's photo.
Okay.
Olly Rix was playing Matthew Aylward on Call the Midwife. He was the on-screen husband of the show's biggest star, Helen George, who plays Trixie Franklin.
They were the golden couple of Nonnatus House. On screen, yes. They were the fairy tale. Trixie had waited years for love, and here came this wealthy, handsome widower.
Swept her off her feet.
The wedding episode was massive, but off-screen, the summer of 2023 was a period of huge upheaval. In the industry, we call it the double split.
Okay, here are the facts. In July 2023, Helen George announced her split from her partner of 7 years, Jack Ashton.
And we have to pause on the irony there.
We do.
Jack Ashton was also a Call the Midwife co-star. He played Reverend Tom Hereward. They met filming the 2016 Christmas special in South Africa. They have 2 kids together.
So Helen George has a significant history of finding love on that specific set.
It's almost like the show is a matchmaking service disguised as a period drama.
Exactly. The precedent was there. And around the exact same time, we're talking July 2023, Olly Rix split from his partner of 7 years, makeup artist Natasha Faggri.
2 7-year relationships ending in the same month, involving 2 actors who are playing a newly married couple on TV. You can see why the rumor mill went into overdrive.
Oh, absolutely.
The statistical probability of that happening by pure chance is, well, it's low.
It's very low. And sources from The Sun and The Mirror were immediately reporting that Helen and Olly were supporting each other through these breakups.
Yeah.
And then came the sightings.
November 2023, that was the big one. The paparazzi photos that launched 1,000 group chats.
Helen George was spotted leaving Olly Rix's West London home on a Sunday morning.
And then there was the pub lunch in Kensington.
They were seen on a double date, looking cozy. Olly was reportedly being protective, kissing her on the cheek. They were the it couple that never officially confirmed they were a couple.
It was all very unspoken. It's that did they or didn't they that kept everyone hooked.
Right.
The lines between Trixie and Matthew and Helen and Olly were completely blurred. It was almost like the audience couldn't tell where the script ended and the Sunday tabloids began.
You'd watch them on screen, and you were just looking for clues in their body language.
Totally.
But then the drift happened. It wasn't an explosion. It was a slow fade. By mid-2024, reports surfaced that they had drifted apart.
And Olly unfollowed Helen on Instagram?
Which, in modern celebrity culture, is basically a press release saying, it's over.
It's the digital door slam. Nothing says we are done like hitting that unfollow button. But the consequences were professional, not just personal. This is the crucial part.
This is what people miss.
Yeah. Olly Rix was written out of Call the Midwife.
And not in a gentle way. It wasn't some heroic death or a tearful goodbye. His character, Matthew, went broke, lost something like, what, 250,000 pounds?
And essentially fled to New York. Sources said the cast was stunned and upset by his sudden departure. It felt very abrupt.
So think about the narrative fallout. Trixie is left alone in Poplar dealing with this long-distance marriage, while the actor playing her husband moves to Cardiff, joins Casualty, and gets engaged to someone else.
Life is significantly more dramatic than the script.
It really is. And if you need a diagram to keep track of who dated who in the BBC canteen, you need to subscribe to StarScope Report.
We untangle the web so you don't have to.
Hit that button now before the next scandal drops.
Please do, because I have a feeling 2026 is going to be a very busy year.
Speaking of 2026, let's look at the board right now. It's January 19. Where does everyone stand today on the day of this engagement? The landscape has shifted entirely.
Well, Olly Rix is thriving. He's just debuted in the Casualty miniseries Learning Curve. He's the clinical lead, Flynn Byron. He's got the girl, he's got the job.
And he's cited finding stability after the uncomfortable spotlight of the previous year.
That uncomfortable spotlight being the intense scrutiny of his relationship or whatever it was with Helen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Anna Chell is still starring as Jodie Whyte in Casualty. She's the bride-to-be. They seem to be the power couple of the medical drama world right now.
Meanwhile, back in Poplar, Helen George is currently on air in Call the Midwife Season 15.
And the storyline is painfully awkward.
We'll get to that, but personally, Helen seems to have moved on too. She's reportedly dating a real estate businessman, Dan Innes.
But she's also doing some very different projects. She's in Shark, Celebrity-Infested Waters on ITV.
Which is a real show, apparently. I had to double-check that because it sounds like a parody from 30 Rock.
It's real. And she's playing the fairy godmother in a pantomime. It feels like she's trying to distance herself from the serious drama vibe for a moment.
I don't blame her.
But I want to go back to this idea of the curse of the co-star.
It's a pattern, isn't it? Helen met Jack Ashton on set. Helen was linked to Olly Rix on set. Olly met Anna Chell on set. It just keeps happening.
Why? Is it just that actors are attractive people? Or is it something systemic?
I think it's the British continuing drama ecosystem. These actors work grueling schedules. We're talking 12, 14-hour days. Olly described the Casualty role as all-consuming.
And they film in these isolated hubs like Rothlock and Cardiff. It's a pressure cooker.
You're simulating high-stakes emotions all day. You're crying on cue. You're shouting. You're confessing love. Your brain knows it's acting.
But your body is feeling those hormones.
Exactly. You're away from home. You're emotionally exhausted. You're simulating this high-stakes drama with attractive people. It's the perfect recipe for romance.
It's almost inevitable that you turn to the person next to you in the trenches.
It's trauma bonding, but the trauma is a script deadline.
And remember Olly's interview about his dog, Nellie? He said walking that dog was his only relaxation during the Casualty training.
And now, that same dog is in the engagement photos.
The dog is the witness to the whole timeline.
Nellie knows everything. If that dog could talk, she'd have a 3-book deal and her own podcast.
So Olly has a new fiancé and a new show. Helen has a new boyfriend and a show where her husband is invisible.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one final awkward twist about how the BBC is handling Olly's exit that makes watching Call the Midwife this month just complicated.
It's the elephant in the room. We need to talk about it because it's disrupting the viewing experience. It's hard to watch the show without thinking about the real-life headlines.
Okay, let's talk about the ghost of Matthew Aylward. We're currently watching Call the Midwife Season 15. It just premiered yesterday, Sunday, January 18th.
And Trixie, played by Helen George, is constantly explaining why Matthew isn't there. It's becoming a bit of a running gag.
It's excruciating. She says things like, he has to stay in New York until autumn, or I needed to get Johnny home for pre-prep school. It feels so forced.
It's the business in America excuse. It's the classic soap opera trope when an actor leaves, but they don't want to kill the character off yet.
But the problem is, we know where the actor is.
Right. We know he's not in New York building a property empire. He's down the road in Cardiff dealing with a pileup on the M4 in Casualty.
And getting engaged to a nurse. It breaks the immersion. Trixie is wearing her wedding ring, pretending to have this happy, albeit long-distance marriage.
But every time she mentions him, the audience isn't thinking about the character Matthew. They're thinking about Olly Rix, the breakup, and the new engagement.
It pulls you right out of the 1960s and slams you back into 2026.
So can they keep this up? Call the Midwife is renewed through 2026. There's a movie coming.
That's the big question. Speculation based on sources suggests they have two choices.
Right. They either recast Matthew, which would be jarring because Olly was so distinct in the role. You can't just swap him out and hope nobody notices.
Or they have to divorce.
But Trixie has had so much heartbreak already. The audience loves her. They don't want to see her crushed again.
She battled alcoholism. She had the failed engagement to the curate. She finally got the rich, handsome husband.
I know. It's tragic for the character. But Olly has moved on completely. The steamy new role in Casualty is his focus.
This engagement to Anna signals a permanent shift away from that London-based drama circle.
He is planting roots in Cardiff. I don't see him coming back to Poplar just to wrap up the storyline.
So the writers might be forced to break Trixie's heart one more time just because of real-life logistics.
It seems inevitable. The happy marriage is a charade at this point. And with this engagement news today, the contrast between Trixie's fake happy marriage and Olly's real happy engagement is just too sharp to ignore.
So to recap this whirlwind, Olly Rix and Anna Chell are engaged. The Call the Midwife romance rumors with Helen George are officially dead and buried.
And the BBC drama ecosystem remains the most incestuous dating pool in the UK.
And we learned a valuable lesson.
If you want to find love, apparently you just need to get cast in a medical drama in Cardiff and get a Cocker Spaniel.
It's a solid strategy. But here's something to chew on before we go.
Okay.
With Matthew Aylward stuck in New York indefinitely, and Olly Rix firmly planted in Casualty, How long can Call the Midwife keep up this charade?
Mm.
At what point does the real-life breakup force the writers to break the fourth wall, admit the marriage is over, and just let Trixie move on?
It's a fascinating conflict between art and reality, and honestly, I'll be watching next Sunday just to see if Trixie mentions New York again.
Oh, we all will.
If she does, I might scream at the TV.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.